Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about Bitcoin and crypto. Both are doing quite well. So let's get ready for this next move that can trigger a massive breakout. That's right. Let's talk about everything that's happening right now and let's speculate where things are going. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Bitcoin is at 64.6. That's pretty good. That's better than this morning. And it does not look like it wants to stop. It looks like Bitcoin wants to continue. And where's the next stop? Well, we've seen it before. If I could zoom out a little bit. I'm having a hard time zooming out. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let me go to the 4-hour. So where are we going to end up next? I think there. Okay. We've been stuck here for a little bit. But if we continue on, 67,000 will be around the corner. That's where we were before. Last time we saw it was all the way back here in July. It does look like that is where we will head next. Okay. And in addition, today, I don't know if you guys noticed, a lot of alts are exploding. Alts are catching up in a big way. Look at Solana up about 7% today. Even Cardano up 8%. Chainlink up 9%. Sui up 14%. And I have something to share about them. 14%, they're at number 21 right now, right? You got Fed up 7%, Aptos 8%. I just talked about them yesterday. Even Pepe up 10%. So the alts are doing quite well right now. Retail interest is coming back. And that's what always happens. Bitcoin leads the way, and then the money flows into the alts. It's always like that every single cycle, right? And again, all you have to do is be patient. HODL, DCA, have patience. Let the gains come to you. It's that simple. All right, so what's happening that's causing all this? Well, there's a lot of stuff happening with China. Okay, there's a liquidity event happening right now. China is making it easy for now security firms' funds to borrow money and to buy stocks. Basically, China is going all out. They removed their half of the reserve requirement for banks to lend out. Now they're going to allow firms to go borrow money directly from their central bank to go buy stocks with, right? Like basically what they're trying to do is start up the economy in a big way. This is a giant liquidity event. We have seen several of these before. Last time was probably 2020 and 2021 when the U.S. injected all this money with stimulus checks into the economy, right? China and others kind of did the same to the rate cuts. But now they're doing more. They are just going all out, right? And whenever we have liquidity events like this, it's generally a pretty good thing for assets like Bitcoin. Okay, today was the second best day for Chinese markets. And again, when you have these kind of big liquidity events, they are absolutely fantastic. Why is that? Well, because when the money's flowing, people are making money. They tend to put money elsewhere, right? They put it into assets that appreciate, like Bitcoin. I mean, there's no better asset to put money into right now. Okay, really. Like, you guys know I've been talking about Bitcoin for so long, right? And, it's not just me that notice all these things. All these other institutions and countries and banks and everyone else in between, they're starting to realize the same thing. So they're all making plans on adopting or growing or buying or providing services. It's all coming. It's all coming, right? The world's largest custodian bank, BNY Mellon, is close to rolling out custody service for spot Bitcoin ETFs. That's great, but you know what's even better? What about just allowing banks to be custody of physical Bitcoin, or just digital Bitcoin, physical digital Bitcoin rather than Bitcoin ETFs? In fact, that is what's happening right now. 42 Congress members wrote and demanded Gary Gensler to allow banks to custody Bitcoin. Like, why not? Why not? And Gary Gensler got grilled again today. Basically, no one likes the SEC because of Gary Gensler. He got grilled by, was it Thomas Emmer? Basically, he was just making stuff up. He made stuff up, like crypto asset securities, which doesn't even belong in the rule book, and they had to apologize for it because basically Gary said everything is a security. Everything is a security, and now it's proven that not everything is a security, or his definitions are wrong. And he was just, he's just like judge, jury, and executioner, right? Like, he had no oversight, but now that's no longer the case because he's losing a case after case after case. And it's become embarrassing. It's costing taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars. And finally, Congress is starting to realize that this guy's no good. Anyways, he's on his way out, and he knows, right? So basically, it's a good day. It's a good day for crypto overall. I'm not saying there's the SEC should probably look at a lot of these bad projects, but he was just attacking all the wrong projects. Trying to attack all the good ones instead of the bad ones, which made no sense, right? Trying to set a precedent when he didn't need to, especially with the good projects. But anyways, Gary is feeling the heat, and he's on his way out. And like I said, everyone wants a piece of Bitcoin. So soon, all the major banks out there will act like custodians. Okay, whether you really wanted the banks to be custodian for your bank, for your Bitcoin, that's a different story. I would say no. Self-custody is always best. But still, the ability to be able to do so would be absolutely fantastic. And there's probably a lot of institutional investors, or just like public trade companies, or even small businesses, right? The ones that are scared for security. Maybe they want to do it. So that would be fantastic. And of course, BlackRock, still bullish. You got Robbie Mitchneck, who is head of digital assets BlackRock, says Bitcoin is an emerging global monetary alternative, a scarce global decentralized non-sovereign asset. That's right. To put it in a nutshell, that's right. Non-sovereign is important. Very, very important. Because that means there's no country on the planet that owns or controls or can stop Bitcoin. That's important. That's very important. There's no other asset on the planet that's like that. Every other form of money is controlled by someone that can take it away or shut it down or lock you out. But they can't do that with Bitcoin. That in itself is worth an infinite amount of money if you think about it. There's nothing else on the planet that's like that. Nothing else. Only Bitcoin. Just take a second to compute that, how valuable that in itself is. And outside of that, ETFs, of course, continue to inflow. That's always good. But now we got options. Besides IBIT, take in 20 plus billion worth of Bitcoin. Now there's going to be options based on IBIT. So if you think you want more leverage, it's coming. It's coming. You can officially trade options soon of IBIT shares, right? They don't allow options trading of Bitcoin directly, but it's the same thing. If you think Bitcoin's going to go up, then you can speculate long on IBIT, or you can go to short side, but so that's also coming. We're having a ton of derivatives. I don't know if derivatives is actually what we want more of, but it's coming. Again, everyone wants a piece. All right, what else? Whales are loading up on Bitcoin right now. 2 whales have withdrawn $219 million from Binance in the last 12 hours. I can't confirm or deny if I'm one of those 2 whales. But nevertheless, that is a whole lot being removed from circulation and from the exchanges. The exchange reserves continue to go down and down and down and down and down and down. Now, we are still in September. Remember what I said at the beginning of September. Even though we started out bad, I did tell you guys, just because September is a historically bad month for Bitcoin does not mean we will end this month in red. I said the big catalyst is going to be the FOMC meeting. And so far, I am right. We still have a week left. Maybe we do see a downturn. But right now, it's looking like all signs are pointing upwards. And this is showing that, yeah, there has been Septembers where we saw green. And what follows Q4, you get more green. In 2015, we saw 2.35% return in September. But then we had 81% return in Q4. 2016, we saw 6%, and then we got 58% return. Last year, we saw 2.91%, and then we saw 57% return in Q4. Are we going to see a 57% return in Q4? Quite possibly, especially if we end in the green this month. And it's looking very, very likely that that's going to happen. This, again, is what I'm telling you guys, right? A lot of people, you are your own worst enemy. Most people that come on here and get scared and end up selling is because they keep thinking that things are going to get worse and worse and worse, and they drive themselves to do something irrational. That's why I'm here. That's why I tell you guys to stay calm and cool and just continue to hold on DCA, because the gains will come to you. That's exactly what's happening. Now, the last thing I'll say about Bitcoin is this. Plan B has some estimates of where Bitcoin will be based on geopolitical macro conditions. Okay. October, Bitcoin is 70K. I think we'll be, yeah, that's right. I think we might even go higher. I think we'll probably be like 80. We might even end up like 90K by the end of October. No joke. Then we got a presidential election, right? Gary's out. Possibly Trump is in. Who knows? But both sides, even Harris is turning pro-crypto. So at this point, I don't even know which side is better. But Bitcoin being above $100,000. Massive FOMO into ETFs by December. Bitcoin being 150,000. I think that's reasonable, but I think it'll be lower than that. I think Bitcoin will be at like 110, 120,000. Right? And then you got everything else that's going to happen in next year. Plan B thinks we will hit $1 million by the end of next year. That's a little bit too much for me. I don't think we're going to hit $1 million next year. I think max we hit about 200, 250,000. But according to him, if these events are true or happening, hey, maybe we break through 300, 400, 500,000. Maybe. But I do think some of these events are going to happen. I just don't think Bitcoin's going to go that high, that fast. But again, who knows? Who knows? All right, so that's Bitcoin. Good things are happening. But a lot of you guys are wondering, what about alts? What about alts, man? Are alts going to come back full force? When is altcoin season happening? Well, according to this, we're nowhere close. Today, we're starting to see a little bit of comeback. But you'll know when it's altcoin season. That's when you know you're like, you feel dirty. You wake up and you see your alts and your memes go up 20 or 30% like every day. You're wondering if this is happening. Is this all reality, or it's like simulated, not stimulate? Is this AI? When you start feeling dirty, that's when you know you're in altcoin season, because it happens every single time, every single cycle. Towards the end, the alts explode. Normally when Bitcoin tops out and everything goes crazy, you see 10x's, 20x's, 30x's within a single week. It's coming. We're nowhere close to that. We're still in Bitcoin season. Dominance is still high, but you just have to wait. Altcoin season will come, and it's going to be explosive, just like all the previous times before. But today, let's highlight one of the chains, Sui, which is doing really good today. But overall, why are they doing good? Well, they ranked second in transactional volume in September, 209 million. That is a whole lot. Right behind one of my favorites, Solana, which is leading the way. But still, Sui is no slouch, sitting at number 2. And because of it, look at their TVL. Their TVL has exploded. Their TVL is at an all-time high, nearing 1 billion in TVL. That is a whole lot. That is way more than a lot of chains out there that's been around for a long, long time. They are at number 8 right now. Okay, barely below Avalanche. They're above Polygon. They're above Optimism, Aptos, you know, like Cardano's all the way down here at 217 million. So they have risen up quite a lot. Okay, so that definitely has helped them. And also, you got Grayscale that's launched their trust for Sui. That gave them a little bump in price. We know that happened earlier this month. You got a new stable coin that's launching, USDC, that's launching on Sui. And their gaming division continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. And even MoviePass continues to pivot with Sui team up. Anyways, so Sui does seem like they have a lot of things going on. A lot of good things. So I don't know why they exploded today, but overall, they are in a very good shape to continue forward and better and so forth, right? And then lastly, in case you care, I saw this on the front page. Caroline Ellison is sentenced for 2 years in prison, ordered to forfeit $11 billion. How does she still have $11 billion is what I want to know. Like, all this time, I thought FTX was made whole. They're going to start distributing, but she still holds $11 billion? That's crazy, right? But according to this, I guess the prosecutors didn't want to put her in jail because she's been so cooperative. But still, the judge is like, I can't just give you a get out of jail free card and still sentence her to 2 years, which isn't bad compared to SPF. But still, she was holding on to $11 billion? I don't quite get it. I thought that would have been forfeited already. Anyways, yeah. All right, let's do some Q&A. Look at Stacks go. Stacks is at $2. It just keeps on going and going and going. Glad to see Solana pumped up a little bit today. You know, you got a whole bunch, like a lot of like memes went up today. What else? Fetch did pretty well. You got a lot of great movers today. A lot of great movers. The Stacks is definitely just like, look at that. It's just like up and up and up and up. I don't have anything to drink right now. All right, let me see here. Oh yeah, and CZ's being released. I don't know if that's gonna cause a pump, but CZ's also getting out. Alan says my limit order on Bitcoin is getting left behind. Well, at least it's going up. Let's see here. Goku Trump. I'm not gonna repeat what you said, but that's funny. That's funny. George, are we in the dirty banana zone? I think we're at the right at the cusp of it. I think October is gonna be the start of it, and we're kind of starting now. Ricky, what is your Aerodrome and Near Protocol price prediction this cycle? I'm not a big fan of Aerodrome, so I'm not going to make a prediction. And Near Protocol, I think they could do very well because they're in the AI space and they are well funded and they are a bigger L1 in the space. So I'll just say they will do well too. CZ is getting released Sunday. How happy was you that Gary Guns were getting drilled today? I mean, he deserves it. He deserves it. You know, he always says the same thing over and over and over again. He's like, oh, I just follow the rules, even though his interpretation is different than everyone else's. Again, I'm not saying that there aren't bad projects or bad actors, but like he was going after the top dogs, going after like Coinbase, you know, that was it didn't make any sense. Omar, I would never say anything good about ICP. Ron says I picked up Sui 3 days ago. Congrats. Back to crypto now. When Bitcoin, this is from Iman. When Bitcoin 100K, where do you see C and Sui at? C at $10. You know what? C has been stagnant for a long time, but it was starting to heat up earlier this year. They can still heat up. I mean, they're let's see what their all-time high is. All-time is $1, so they have to double that. Can they go to $10? Probably not. That's a little too much. That's a little too much, but you know, maybe like $5, $6. Sui could be more because it's already 5. So I don't know. Sui could go. I don't know. Maybe say could go to 10. You know, I can't make an accurate prediction because I don't know how much money will be flowing in. If there's like crazy amount, like trillions that will be flowing in, everything's going to explode 10x, 20x. You know, it's just hard to predict. I mean, really, we don't know how much money will be flowing in, but I think it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be more this cycle than any other cycle previously. Jazz Neil, what's your prediction for Injective? Injective is going to do very well. You know that. I'm a big fan of Injective. They keep pushing forward. They got everything too. So I think they're going to do very well. Thiago Costa, big super chat. If I diversify 500K on top 15 coins right now, how much do you think it could reach by 2025? Asking for a friend. I never give financial advice. So hypothetically, if I had $500,000 and I put it into the top 15 coins, how much do I think it will go up by? I think if I did that, oof, that 500K could be like, I don't know, could be like 5 million by the end of 2025. Do a 10x, maybe a little bit less than 10x. It could happen. I think it could be like 5 million by the end of 2025. Ernie, are women better looking in Singapore or the US? It depends on your taste. If you like Asian women, then obviously Singapore. But if you like white women, then, then obviously the US. I mean, yeah, it just depends on your taste. If you like whiter complexion or darker complexion, size, you want some meat on the bones, it depends. Price prediction on Render next year. I think Render's going to do well too. Ever since they moved to Solana, they've been doing very well. If I can spell them right. If I can spell it right. Render hit like $12. So that's only 2x. Right? So can they go higher than that? Yes. Can they do a 10x from here? Go to $60? That's a possibility. That would be 4 times higher than they were before. Yeah. It's a possibility. Does it mean that it's going to happen? Just saying. George, when I get my Ferrari, can we do a track day? Maybe do a big track day for all members. You know, that's not a bad idea. If, sometime in 2025, when a lot of you guys have your Ferraris and Lambos, maybe we can meet somewhere and do a track day. That's not a bad idea. Do I still like Beam? I haven't given up on them, but I haven't paid attention to any of the games they have onboarded. I don't know if they onboarded any new games. So, and games itself are still kind of weak. As long as games come back, then they will do very well. But I haven't paid attention to any new games they have onboarded. Can Injective 50x considering low? No, I don't think they could do a 50x. No, they're too big for a 50x. Have you met Aspecker? Your thoughts? No, I've never met him. I hear he never goes out of the house. He's always indoors. That's what I hear. And it's really hard to talk to and communicate with him. He has like a godlike, complexion, I guess. I don't know. That's what I hear. It's tough to even talk to him. Jordan, the new Ferrari 296 came out. It's a V6. They call it Baby SM90. It's been out for a while. It looks horrendously ugly, especially with those stupid decals that people put on them. It's fast, but it's a hybrid. So it doesn't sound as good. And it looks funky. And that's why I don't like it. George, Tesla or Jeep? Those are two very different. That's like saying, banana or apple. They're so different. Depends on what you're looking for. Becker walking around Dubai. I haven't met anyone that said, "Hey, I met Becker." Like, maybe he did it. I don't know. I never heard anyone say they're close with him. Haven't heard anyone that met him. Haven't heard of anyone see him at an event. Love to get him into a karate combat event and maybe possibly fight an IFC because I hear he's a jiu-jitsu guy. But yeah, those are the only things I hear. I don't know. I have no way to reach him. David, do you like Say? It's pumping violently. I mean, you're like the third guy to ask it. You don't want to ask when something's pumping, okay? Say is one of those L1s out of Cosmos. Say and Celestia, Injective, and I forgot another one. But yeah, they all look good. They all look promising. The only thing I gotta say, even with Sui, is there are a lot of tokens waiting to be unlocked, right? So that could put a little bit of it could dampen, you know, the potential, but still, you know, when there's a lot of FOMO, it doesn't really matter. Jafanda, BlackRock got busted spoofing buys to ETF investors. They've been covering their bust for the last 48 hours. Buy the real deal, never the ETF. Yeah, that sounds... It doesn't sound far-fetched, but I don't know. I think there's more to that story. Last one, Cardano. How high this cycle? Probably as high as the last cycle. You said whales are loading up, but then you talk about two whales withdrawing. Makes no sense. Alex, think about it. They're loading up and they're withdrawing because they're self-custodying their own crypto. Withdrawing does not mean selling. Withdrawing just means removing off the exchanges, Alex. Take a second to think about things. Process it in your head before saying something stupid. Sorry, I didn't mean to be mean, but, you know, it's like, you just angered me with your comment. Who is more bullish, you or Raul Paul? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing to be like so bullish. People hate it when I'm so bullish all the time, and they call me out. It's like, why are you so bullish? You know, like, I don't get it. Why are you so bullish all the time? Because I just believe and I understand. Like, I just know things will get better. You just have to be patient. That's it. What was your favorite drink in Singapore? Well, Dreamer. I was hanging out with Dreamer, president of Kingdom Studios of DeFi Kingdoms, and he introduced me to something Singapore Sling. I think that's what it's called. Very popular drink, mixed drink in Singapore. It's like a fruity cocktail drink. I have no idea what's in there, but it's pretty good. So, and no, Singapore Sling is not slang for like, you know, a chick or something. No, it's a drink called Singapore Sling. Christian, appreciate it. Did he choose? I have not been following everything that's been happening with Diddy. I don't know. I just heard like a lot of celebrities deleted all their like uh X accounts or posts or whatever. I don't know what happened with Diddy. Like I really have not kept up. You know, you're like the third person John Abs said to wear those blue light glasses that like filters out the blue. It's supposed to be good. Um, yeah, I don't know what it does. I don't know if it's really necessary. What about ETC? Does it go 5x this year? You know, I'm not a fan of ETC at all. I don't know what purpose they serve, so I'm not gonna comment on them. What's the name? So it filters out Titty. That's actually funny. That's pretty funny. Well, I was gonna say something tonight, but I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't remember. I just know that Singapore is hot. Like out of everything, you gotta be prepared to sweat all day, every day. You know, since I found out they're by the equator, so like they never really have winters or anything like that. They have like typhoon season and stuff, but it's always humid throughout the whole year. I don't know how anyone could stand it. Are you over at jet lag? I think so. I was still a little sleepy this afternoon. I took a nap. I should be okay now. Are you a fan of Filecoin or is it junk? It's not junk, but there's so many competitors now. So I don't know if it's gonna get back to its heyday. As a gamer who stares at screens for long periods of time, I can say blue light glass helps a bit. I stare at the screen quite a lot, so maybe I'll get it just to see. I stare at the screen all day, so I might do that. Mark Core says, I saw your crowd in combat a few days ago. Great. Hopefully, I shook your hand. Would you recommend Singapore? Yeah, if you haven't been there, it's a great city to go to. Uh, great country to visit. You know, at least once in your life. Then you could say you've been there. But it's a tourist area. Great for businesses. They have a decent nightlife. You know, they have more going on than Dubai. Dubai has like no light nightlife. Dubai might be fun in the morning, whatever, with all their crazy malls and desert dunes and stuff, but they have nothing going on at night. When I went to Dubai, everyone, all they did with at night was hookah, or they call it, I forgot what they call it, shikra or something like that. That's all they did. You can't drink, you can't go out partying. There's like, no strip clubs to go to, nothing. Um, Everyone just like trying to get high off of hookah, and it's just weird. Singapore, all the usual stuff. Oh, you can't gamble in Dubai either. Like, there's nothing to do in Dubai. Um, yeah, shisha. In Singapore, you got everything. They got one of the greatest casinos there. It's crazy. You could drink all you want. You just can't, for people who smoke weed, you can't smoke weed there. But you go, they have nightlife. They got everything. Singapore versus Dubai, which is the best food for you? It depends on if you like Western food or Asian food. Singapore definitely has a lot more Asian food, more Chinese food in general. Um, Dubai is more like American food. Like, I didn't even have Middle Eastern food in Dubai. I didn't even know. They were all Western restaurants. All right, guys. I'll let you go. Overall, it's a pretty good day. It's a pretty good day. Probably will get better tomorrow. So, enjoy it. Have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.